Well, for those of you that watch us live, it's 11 o'clock, and that means it's time for another edition of Litter Media Live with the icon Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey.
I've got 11:01, Dan. We're late.
We are.
Is that
not the first time we've ever been late.
Is that a fireable offense if we
No.
if we're a minute late?
No, because there have been times in which we sat here and, well, we went to flip the switch and the thing wasn't ready to go for some reason. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of out of our, we'd have been fired a long time ago.
Yeah.
So not today.
Yeah. Oh, the lights were off. I'm sorry we were late. Remember the time we went outside because of the bees?
Yes. And that
we
was
were real late that day.
Was that like last June?
No, I think that was the first summer that I was here. So whatever.
Okay, so maybe it's been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We had bees everywhere in here. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, they left us alone.
Yeah.
They were hovering above us about, 4 feet from the ceiling. Uh-huh. And there was about 8,000 of them, it looked like. And I think, if anything, to get away from it was just the noise. Yeah. The buzzing that was going on. So, and they were all looking for the queen bee, and they never did find her. So, at any rate, hi, welcome to the program today. Coming up, we'll take a look at what's going on with news here in our communities. Also, a look at sports, which we don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Not much.
It's kind of odd today. And we'll also jump into this date in history, which is sports related. Mm-hmm. And I had a little tour today, too. We'll share details coming up in just a moment. But first, weather-wise, what are we looking at for our weather today, Mike?
Much quieter today. In fact, when we get to our top story after a bit, it's weather-related. But today, cloudy and cooler, a high only reaching 55. Now, if you're looking for the daytime high, we already had it. It was like 63 early this morning after midnight, but the temperatures have been steadily falling. And then they will go back up to get to our 55 degree high for today. I think our weather digital there, you can see it was 60 at 2 a.m., got down to the 40s, or it will be in the 40s, but we're going to get up to 55 eventually here later today. Cloudy and 57 for tomorrow. Showers are going to be kind of on and off today. It was raining here just a moment ago. I think there's a 30% chance of rain 1-2 o'clock hour this afternoon, and then that will move out. It'll be overcast, but the rain should be done by mid-afternoon.
What is not comfortable to me is seeing the number 39 again, It's going to be 39 tonight, right. So that's all right. It's going to be warm enough before we know it.
Correct.
So, all right, so that's a look at the forecast for you. And, of course, anytime you're wondering about the weather, you can find that on our website, littermedia.com. You can even watch the radar and see the approaching storms as well. And the Reds have already made a statement that their game tonight is postponed. Mm-hmm. And if you looked at that radar just a moment ago, you can see where let me push that button. You can see the storms starting to come up. They're expecting this to be in Pennsylvania all day today. Mm-hmm. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that for you. Available now at littermedia.com. All right, in just a moment, a look at what's making news. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. For 4 decades now, they have been taking care of those certain circumstances, heating, cooling, and plumbing. Check them out on our website. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you right to their website to find out where they're located to help you with your needs. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. News next.
At Rathkamp Financial, we offer customized investment solutions and superior client service. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Time now for news.
Yeah, we told you our top story is a kind of weather-related. Storms that came through yesterday, high winds took down power lines in several locations in our area. Now, this picture that, thanks to Josh Walter, who posted it on Facebook, this was between Frankfort and Clarksburg yesterday afternoon. And the power went out in both of those communities, and it's still out in Clarksburg as of last check. Now, there were also reports of similar incidents in Highland County, and I think there might have been some others on some of the county roads in surrounding communities that the ODOT reports don't give us information on. South Central Power Company has told Adena Schools, who ended up closing for the day, that they will be shutting the power off again sometime during the day today in order to get community or areas in the Frankfort-Clarksburg area that are still without power restored. Now, Frankfort had their power back on last night at about 8 o'clock, but that will probably be shut off at some point late this morning or during the afternoon to help get Clarksburg and other areas back online. But again, thanks to Josh Walter for that photo. Ohio University Chillicothe is accepting applications for the Community Health Worker Program for this summer. Now, the free program will begin on August 22nd in a hybrid model, including both online and in-person classes. Participants have the opportunity to become vital members of the health and wellness network of employers, instructors, and students living and working in southeastern Ohio and beyond. The program itself begins on May the 15th. We told you about the best of Pickaway County about a week or so ago, but some more information about this contest at the ArtsRound has come to our attention. This is for students from Circleville, Tays Valley, Westfall, Logan Elm, and the New Hope Christian Academy. The project, spearheaded by ArtsRound's recently appointed gallery coordinator, Steve Sawyer. Anyone is welcome to visit the gallery, view the art, and vote for their favorite school throughout the month of April. So we've got a few more weeks to go in this contest. The gallery will be open extended hours, staff permitting, Monday through Fridays from 4 to 7 p.m., then on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. You can get all of those dates and times in our website story at littermedia.com. It is proposed to realign about 950 feet of State Route 335 in Pike County, to reduce the impact of the Scioto River erosion to State Route 335. Now, this project that's on the books is located in Jackson Township between the village of Omega and Schilder Lane. The Ohio Department of Transportation wants comments from the public about this proposed project, and there's a link within our story at littermedia.com where you can make those comments. Speaking of ODOT, our daily road report, this takes us down to Scioto County. Work is underway tomorrow for a culvert replacement on State Route 348 between Atkins-Hofer Road, or Hofer Hill Road, and the Raritan-Hazelbaker Road. The road will be closed for one day only for the construction. But for that, tomorrow, because April 7th is tomorrow, during the closure, traffic will be detoured via State Route 73, 104, US 52, and State Route 125. And again, that is a one-day project. We'll be starting probably 7 or 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and they hope to be done by 7 p.m. also tomorrow. And those are your topic headlines for the day.
Earlier today, I started my day with these folks, the First Capital Rotary Club here in Chillicothe, and it was nice to get a chance to see a lot of folks that I hadn't seen for a while and to get to talk about the change of media in the Chillicothe area. And I was telling them, I asked for a show of hands of how many people were born after August 2nd of 1982. 3 hands went up. Wow. And I said, well, that's when I came on board here in Chillicothe. Mm-hmm. And so back then, the Chillicothe Gazette was an afternoon newspaper. The Citizens Journal was still around in the morning. The Dispatch was an afternoon paper. And how things have changed in the radio landscape. And now to what we have today. And asked them all to hold up their smartphones, and they did. And we have learned you can put news in the hands of people right where they are with their smart devices. So it was an interesting moment to listen to. Here's Joe Urick. They're talking about First Thursdays, getting all the preparation done for that and everything. They also had the opportunity to say we've got a golf tournament coming up, getting ready for that. They've got some other events coming up that they're working together. So as we mentioned to you yesterday, this group, like many of our civic organizations, fantastic. They do a great job. There is Dave Pinkerton, President Dave.
You cost him some money.
I did cost him some money. We talked about them coming back to be on with us to talk about some of their events coming up, and we will be hopefully doing that in the coming weeks. So thank you again to the First Capital Rotary and Mike Warren for extending the opportunity for Michael Warren, his professional name, extending the opportunity for me to join them.
I hope that you volunteered us for judging the Pizza Fest.
I did not.
That was some of the best work we've ever done together, I think.
Well,
with Bob Neal.
I was going to say that was a combination. And back then, the three of us were not working together. You know, Bob and I had worked together. We all three had worked together at one point. Bob came on to do news when we lost you to a budget cut.
I died, in case you didn't know, and came back.
This is the second life for Mike. And then at that moment when we were judging, we were working at three different entities. Right. I was here. You were at the radio station, and Bob was working with the Soil and Conservation District.
Yeah. So. Did they do the Pizza Fest still, right?
Pizza Fest, but they don't judge, from what I understand.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. That fell by the wayside. So.
I was ready to – I'm all in for that, yeah.
I think last year or maybe the year before might have been the last time they did.
Are you trying to say we blew it? I mean, we were the ones that they stopped on?
It's possible. It's possible.
I think it was probably because we were eating too much of the product. Yeah.
I think ours was pre-pandemic, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So I think after the pandemic and they brought it back, they got away from judging.
Gotcha.
So, but it's all just to raise money. And I can tell you, this is breaking news if you're not in the group. Their tickets are going up. Their drink tickets are still $2, but their food tickets are now $2 too. So,
which is still a bargain.
Still a bargain.
Yeah.
And again, it's to raise money. All that money goes back into the charities that they're involved with and the service projects through the First Capital Rotary.
Very good.
So thanks again for having me. I had to apologize to them because more than half the people that were in the room there at the Pump House Center of the Arts had been on the radio show with us back in the day. And I said, I'm sorry. I now know what it's like to be awake at 7 o'clock. And I explained to them this was the fourth time since I've left radio that I've been in Chillicothe before 7 a.m. So,
some would question whether you were awake when you were there at the radio station at 6 o'clock.
That is true, because 772 was one way of the car drove itself. It's amazing how it got me to work every day. All right, it was autonomous before it became a thing.
The Lord steered him all the way.
Yes, Jesus truly had the wheel.
Had the wheel,
on
right.
that one. All right, coming up, a look at sports for you. Again, a short sports cast today, but we'll share some details, including an update on the swimmers that are at the Nationals.
So water is all over the sportscast today. Yeah.
Yes. Rain did not delay the activity at the YMCA Nationals in North Carolina. All right, coming up in just a moment, we'll have sports for you. But first, let's tell you about Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. They, have got the courses for you for adult education. If you're looking for skilled trades, how about welding? How about maintenance? How about power line work? HVAC, electrical. If you're looking for public safety, they can take care of you there too with the EMT basic courses. You want to be a paramedic. If you like advanced emergency medical technician opportunities. And health technologies as well for RNs, medical assisting, and more. Find out what's going on at Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center by clicking on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it will take you right to their website so you can explore all of the courses in the Pickaway Ross CTC Adult Education. Sports, next.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade, Zero Sugar. Zero sugar, Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
Big yards, small yards, hilly yards, silly yards. Every yard is unique, and every yard, no matter how much you love it, can be uniquely frustrating to mow. That's why Country Clipper is designed to tackle any obstacle imaginable. It's the perfect mower for even the most imperfect yard. Country Clipper, engineered for easy.
This is Big Chillicothe. Horizon's 100% fiber internet service is coming to your area. Call 740-772-8331 or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe to sign up today.
If you're looking for work, McDonald's is looking for you. They have mchire.com, which you can find by clicking on any ad you see on littermedia.com for McDonald's, and it'll take you right to that website. And you could find work in France, in China, wherever you want to work at a McDonald's, but also here in Chillicothe. There are 4 locations, along with Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly. And enjoyed a little cinnamon roll this morning from McDonald's.
You brought me one.
I did.
I wish you'd have told me. I wouldn't have eaten breakfast for you.
I apologize. I wanted it to be a surprise.
And it was.
And it was a surprise. Yeah. Thank you again for McDonald's, what they do to help us here in our community. They do more than employ people. They make sure that we get food, and they also support a lot of projects going on across the Scioto Valley.
Certainly.
McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
It is sports time, and we're starting where?
You got the lead. This is about the YMCA update. We've been telling you about this all week.
That's right. Swimmers in action today included Lindsay Bright. She finished 35th in the women's 500 freestyle. She knocked 0.18 seconds off of her seating time and finishing 35th in the nation. So congratulations there. She also was 47th in the nation in the 200 freestyle.
Just a reminder, Lindsay's from Logan Elm.
Correct. From Lancaster High School, Jack Hensley, he's been the top performer so far. Oh, thank you. I forgot. Let me push this button. Let me push that button, and we'll push this button, and we'll go and push that button.
Hey, there we are. Back in the water.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Jack Hensley, he's finished 25th in the 200 breast. The 29th in the 400 intermediate. He went back into the finals of the 400 intermediate and placed 27th. He, along with Max Hensley, William McMasters, and Adam Moneypenny, they combined for a men's 200 medley relay team. They finished 66th in the nation. Again, keep in mind, there's 178 teams that are there and more than 1,200 athletes who are participating in these events as well.
And again, those fellows were from Lancaster.
Correct. And the Adam Moneypenny, he is from Canal Winchester, but they all are together at the Lancaster YMCA. The lone Ross County YMCA representative was Ryan Bloom. He swam earlier in the week. But you can read all that on this page. I've not updated it with today's events, which include Lindsay and also Jack Hensley, but we'll try and get that updated after the show here.
Just a quick high school preview for today. Southeastern's annual R.L. Davison Invitational track and field meet. That gets underway at Southeastern High School today at 4:30. There's usually anywhere from 15 to 20 schools that are at that big event. And we'll hope to have final events later tonight on our website. The Reds and Cubs rained out yesterday. You see they're going to make it up in September as part of
Why did they have to go that far?
Yeah, I'm not real sure what the story is on that. But it'll be a split doubleheader when they play on Friday, September the 1st. And as we alluded to a little bit earlier, their game in Philadelphia tonight has already been postponed because all of the storms that we had here yesterday will be in eastern Pennsylvania today and tonight. Now, the Guardians did play, and they wrapped up their series out in Oakland yesterday with a 6-4 win. And earlier this morning, the Masters got underway in Augusta, Georgia. Those are the hole locations for each of the 18 holes for today. They move those each day, which is designed to make the course tougher to play. But Augusta is one of not only the tougher courses in the world, but certainly one of the most beautiful courses to play, designed many years ago by the late Bobby Jones.
I can't imagine being a groundskeeper and having to change those holes every day.
Yeah. And you just can't plug the hole from where you were playing. I mean, they got to manicure it and make it look nice, because on national TV, obviously you want that to look sharp. I guess Jack Nicklaus, I think it was Gary Player and Watson. What's Watson's first name? Tom. Tom was the official judge for the second, not judge, but Grand Marshal, whatever they wanted to call him, for the second day in a row. But they bring some of the Hall of Famers out. I think there were 4 of them that hit opening tee shots, and Jack was among those, along with Tom and Gary Player.
I have to chuckle because there was a golf tournament that my sister had a friend who was playing in. His name, he put his nickname in there, and they always called him Brain Damage. And so he's up in the top 2. And so here they are, they're approaching the green, and the field marshal is looking and calling off the names, and he's like, Joe Smith and Brian Damage.
Instead of Brain Damage, yeah. Oh,
he said, there's no way this guy's name's Brain Damage. Brian Damage.
My brother Mark, who used to be a professor at Mercer College down in Macon, Georgia, he got to go to Augusta one year during the tournament, and he saw Jack Nicklaus, and on that particular day that he was there, I can't remember what tee shot it was, but Jack got an eagle, which is 2 strokes under the par for that hole. And Jack wasn't a young man at the time. And I think Jack had a great first and second round. Everybody was talking about, hey, could it be that he might win it this year? He slid off in the final 2 days. But Hall of Fame from Ohio State University, Upper Arlington High School grad.
He is the Golden Bear.
Had a chance to meet Jack, I think, once or twice up at Muirfield, because they let us, when we were members of the Ohio Broadcasters Hall of Fame, they had an annual meeting, and for 2 or 3 years, they had it at Muirfield. The thing of it is, they all gave us an opportunity to play the course after the meeting.
Cover your divots.
At that time, I didn't play golf, so I never went. So today, I don't play again, but there was a time there that I did play, but missed an opportunity to play Muirfield.
I've never been to play. I have been there to stroll the grounds before, and back when, this is a radio bit, back in 1990 when I was working for Easy 108, they provided the announcers for the reports on their little AM transmitter they had. So when you go to Muirfield, there would be a sign that says, listen to 1610 AM and hear updated reports. Well, I was doing the reports of the scores and things of that sort, but also doing traffic and telling people where to find open parking and all that kind of jazz. And I will tell you, we did this over a telephone. We used the telephone to voice prompt and go through everything and record it, and then it was retransmitted out to everyone listening. There were probably 35 different dialects that I was listening to while in this room, this press room, because you had people from Japan there covering, people from Spain were covering some golfers, Mexico had some people. It was just crazy listening to all this chatter around you while you're trying to do a report.
So you now know what it sounded like at the United Nations.
Yes.
Because they had all those translators and interpreters and that sort of thing.
And when they were building the Tower of Babel. Or Babel, whichever you want to call. All right, coming up, a look at this date in history. It is sports related. Mike has that for us coming up in just a moment. Want to take a moment to tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. They help you clean up. If you've got a need for a dumpster, they'll bring it to you. They'll put it where you want it, whether it be at your residence or your place of business. And then when you're done filling it up with all the junk you're getting rid of, they'll haul it all away for you. They do other things too. Find out more. Call Carl at 740-253-8389 and tell him Dan and Mike sent you.
Budweiser beer, the king is second to none.
Who drinks Budweiser? You know the type. The people who grind. Those who don't back down. And the ones who don't quit. They say all people are 6 degrees of separation away from each other. But some are just a six-pack away. The people who share the same spirit, share the same beer. This Bud's for you.
Hi, I'm Dave Pinkerton with Advanced Services Heating and Cooling, your local heating and cooling expert. If you want quality service, quality installation, give Advanced Services a call, 740-773-4499.
Thank you, Dave. And that's who we saw earlier today at the First Capital Rotary meeting.
You were kind enough to pay his fine for him after you mentioned his name.
Well, we got to talking about the business side of Litter Media, and I said, in fact, one of our sponsors is here with us today in Advanced Services, and he's like, whenever you mention that at a civic group like this, it's like, you got to pay $1 fine. Well, Dave is leaning back in his chair and pulling his pockets out. They're empty. He looked like Mr. Money Pockets on Monopoly. And so I said, well, I brought it up. I'll go ahead and pay your $1 fine. So, although I gave it to him, I never saw him put it into the kitty.
So he probably went to McDonald's with it or something. Yeah.
Could be. All right. This date in history.
Staying on sports theme today, 1896, the Olympic Games. This is the first of what is known as the modern games. Of course, the Olympics go way back into ancient times, but the 1896 Olympic Games, a long-lost tradition of ancient Greece, reborn in Athens 1,500 years after being banned by Roman Emperor Theodosius I. At the opening of the Athens game, King Georgios I of Greece and a crowd of 60,000 spectators welcomed athletes from 13 nations to the international competition. And that picture right there is probably the 100-meter dash getting ready to take off.
There are no starting blocks, I see.
Right.
And
I know they did this at least through the 1924 games in Paris.
With the lines like that?
Which is the theme of the movie Chariots of Fire, where they have actual rope that for each lane, instead of just chalk on the ground, they had rope that you had to run between. If you got off track very far, you'd just trip right over that, I guess. But they don't do that anymore.
Yeah. What did they use for hurdles back then?
You know, I don't know. There was a great, it was a made-for-TV movie, and the David Ogden Stiers, who played Charles Winchester, he was in it. And it was told from the American perspective, the American team. When they were reading up on the weights and the distances and all that to prepare for, somehow they miscalculated. They didn't realize it was metric.
And they were training with heavier
stuff. So when they went to the game, I mean, they kept reading how their distances were so far behind, and they thought they were going to get over there and get clobbered. Well, just the opposite happened. They clobbered the Europeans because they mistakenly were training with heavier shot puts, discus, and things of that nature. And it's kind of interesting how all that worked out.
Yeah. Radio time. I was telling everyone at my speaking this morning that we do a normal radio moment, a step back in time. and you've decided to come up with.
You mentioned something about phone a while ago, and it just hit me. When we were at the radio station, a lot of us had phones that were paid for by the company because we were in administrative positions and using our phone a lot for station business. The number that I was assigned from what I had had previously, I kept getting these phone calls, and some of them were like at late hours of the night, and they would always ask for a female. Mm-hmm. So this happened for a number of months.
The number wasn't a 976 number.
No, no. And a lot of times that's not uncommon because when you give up your phone, that number's recycled to someone else. Yeah. So I just thought bill collectors or whatever. So one night this guy called, and I said, "Excuse me, I'm not Mary Ann, but please tell me, where are you getting..." Well, actually, the way the conversation began when I said hello was, "Do you still dance at parties?" And I said, "Excuse me, who is this?" And the guy realized that this was not a female. And I said, "I'm not going to, make a ruckus. I'm just curious because I've been getting a lot of these strange calls for several months. Where are you getting this number?" And they said, "Well, I'm calling an escort service." I said, "Well, where are you getting this number?" "Well, it's posted on the website or on the internet." And I informed him who I was, and I called the phone company that I got this phone from the very next morning, and I said, "I want this number changed right now." And I explained it to them, and they were very accommodating. But no, I was not ever... I told Jeff Reisinger this story. He said, "I thought I recognized that number." Jokingly, obviously. So, yeah. Strange things that happen sometimes when you're in broadcasting.
Fortunately, he was not calling from a bathroom stall. I saw it right here on the stall.
For a good time call, yeah.
Call Mary
That
Ann.
was Jenny, the song by, was that Tommy Two-Tone that had Jenny Jenny?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
8675309.
Yeah. Who can I turn to? Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, thank you for that.
I don't think I've had that ever happen
moment.
since. You get a lot of scam calls, obviously.
Yeah, you do get a lot of
and
that.
now, thank goodness, the phones recognize many of them. It just says scam alert, and I just don't even answer it. So
I have had some people call, and I see the caller ID, and it happens to be, maybe it was someone's number was changed, but I still have them in here, and it pops up, and I'm, "So, how you doing?" And it's not them.
Yeah. That happened
That's
actually to me. Now, this is bizarre. This was actually a landline phone, not a cell phone.
Okay.
I was getting these calls at night, and this guy was saying, "Is this Mike?" And I said, "Yes." Well, they would just rattle on this conversation. The guy would go on for 5 minutes, and I said, "Sir, are you sure you have the right number?" He said, "This is Mike Smith, Eastern Avenue, right?" "Yes." And he just went on for another 5 minutes. I said, "Sir, excuse me, I don't think that you've got the right..." He said, "Is this Mike Smith from Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe?" And I said, "No, this is Mike Smith, Eastern Avenue, Frankfort." But what are the odds of a Mike Smith living on Eastern Avenue in a different town getting that number?
With the name Smith, it could be anywhere.
So a nice conversation with somebody I still to this day have no idea who they were, but we both lived on Eastern Avenue, just in a different town.
Perhaps if they bring back the show This Is Your Life, they'll find that guy, track him down, and bring him out, and you'll maybe recognize his voice as he talks off stage, and they'll bring him out, and you finally get a chance to meet.
That's Dan Ramey.
I've been that guy all along. All right, that's it for the program today. Thank you so much on this Thursday. Good Friday is tomorrow, and of course we will continue with Holy Week and Easter services on Sunday. Make sure you get out to church, and I tell you, we don't know what to expect. Like in our situation, we have a smaller crowd than we used to have. We were talking before we went on the air here about how many people come to our respective churches. And the largest crowd we've ever had at my church is 133, which is about 100 more than we usually have. So if we start having to put out chairs, I'll be happy come Sunday morning. So make sure you go to your local church this weekend. For Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you for watching. Back again with another edition tomorrow with Litter Media Live.